Um, why does it say that I think I'm live. Am I live? Am I live? Hello, am I live? I think I'm live. Am I live? Am I live? It's me talking to myself. Hello, am I live? I'm actually talking to myself. How are you today? I think I'm live. Am I live? Am I live? It's me talking to myself. Hello, am I live? I'm actually talking to myself. How are you today? In the world of AI, this is how you can talk to yourself without AI. It's me talking to myself. Hello, am I live? I'm actually talking to myself. Okay. Today. Okay, I think we are live. Paul, we're live. Whoops. So, I have a point. I'm doing a brain dump. Paul, do you do brain dumps? This is my brain dump. I have a book and I'm writing down all the things that are in my brain right this minute. And one of them, Paul, is, let me read here. It's got here, Indo trip, dates, 13th to the 23rd. My sister, my mum, March, come back, Easter, the dates, 3.5 weeks. I'm working out dates that my mum can be away, how long does she want to be in Indonesia for, because my sister has to take her over there and and I'm going to take her home. So, just trying to work how that works. But the biggest thing I have in my first world issues at the moment is that potentially, without being dramatic, need somewhere to live in a month's time, literally. I haven't shared this, Paul. So, here's me talking about how I, wanted to go to Phuket in January. That's all fair and dandy, but Diego actually needs somewhere to live. Well, I need somewhere to live when I come back. So, you know that we're doing a whole lot of renovations in this house. Like, if I just showed you, like, you can see the roof, the deck, it's all exposed. All down the side of the house is exposed. Everything is chaos at the moment at our house. And basically, the house is getting lifted to a legal height. It's a 2-story house, but underneath is not a legal height. So when you put a big ass deck on the front of it, I said a different word then, a deck on the front of it, it makes it really dark underneath. So, and it's also not legal underneath. Like if we were to, use the house as equity to, get another property, which is highly probable, or if we wanted to rent out underneath the house, you can't because it's not legal height. So to be legal up to code, it needs to be, proper heights. And I don't know what heights that would be, but yeah. So anyway, that's where we're at. And guess what? Endora Fashion, it's a month away. So literally the 12th of January, which is a Monday, people will come here and start lifting the house, which means the power, sewerage, water has to be turned off. That will be turned off probably on the Friday afternoon. So technically on the 8th of January, I need somewhere else to live. And yes, I have many friends and stuff like that, but I don't really want to stay with my friends. Like there's 2 of us too, right? Can, Diego and I stay at your house for like 3 months? I mean, even Paul, you'd probably say, yeah, I like your Dora, but no, not for that long. I mean, I'm sure, Paul, you wouldn't even be able to put up with me for one day because I'd be driving everyone crazy. So, I'm mindful of that, right? I'm being a good friend, thinking I don't really want to stay at friends' houses like, too long. You don't want to, outstay your welcome kind of thing. I mean, I've got a couple of good friends that, if everything went pear shaped, I could stay there, no problems. But at the same time, I'm thinking a bit ahead of myself that, I'm trying to look after myself, being healthy. Like, in my house here, on a Sunday, I take over the kitchen, get all my, salads together for my week ahead for my work. It's how I save money, right? And next year's a big expensive year. Not only this house is really expensive to, renovate a house is really expensive. I've got 2 trips planned. The one that I'm just talking about with Paul to go to Bali. And I've got a big trip to Africa. So this is sounding like a really first world problem. Like I feel like, there are people homeless in the world, and here's Dora vomiting about how she literally has to move out of her house because it's getting renovated. Like poor Diddums. Like, fuck. I mean, I honestly sound like a spoilt brat. Um, I just want to read this out to you. Right? It's on my notebook here. It's got to follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. I like that. By Ralph Waldo Emerson. And you can't see that. I mean, I turn the camera around, but then you'd be looking at the back of the house. So that'd be just, Anyway, I'll try that out. Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Be a trailblazer. So anyway, there's a few things going on in my head right now, and trying to find somewhere to live next month, next month, literally under a month. It's a little bit stressful. Dora, why didn't you address this a couple of months ago? Good question. Good question. But we live in now, and I have to deal with it now. I didn't deal with it before. Didn't deal with it yesterday. I'm dealing with it today. So, what have I done? Paul's got here. I stayed in a caravan park at Acacia Ridge for 3 months when I first moved to Brisbane. Well, interesting you say that, Paul. Interesting you say that. Very interesting you say that. Tell you where I've started with, okay, Paul? I wrote an ad talking about, who we are, what we're looking for, house sitter, blah, blah, house sitter, dog sitter, looking for these dates, flexible, because, we might not be able to get the whole 3 months. We might have to go 1 week there, 2 weeks there, overlap there, 1 week there kind of thing. There's two of us. But obviously we have to be around where we live in Redcliffe because we have chickens in the backyard and, we've got plants in the house, plants in the garden, things need to be watered. We need to, even though the house is not going to be anyone living in it, you need to be around making sure that, the house is okay, even though there'll be no power, water, no one's going to be moving in, I doubt. But, people might see it as an opportunity to break in and, go up into the house and steal stuff. Good luck to them if they want to, whatever. But, that's an option. You just got to be around, right? So Diego needs to be around to kind of project it to make sure that everything's okay. We don't want it to blow out. We don't want to be 6 months without, having somewhere to live. Can you imagine that? So, yeah, where we're at. Okay, so I wrote an ad. I put it on like 5 or 6 different house sitting sites. And what I've noticed, guys, is there's a lot of, I know better, right? I know there's a lot of people homeless, right? And when I say homeless, mean that there are a lot of people that actually have money, have income, have jobs, have cars, and actually can't find anywhere to rent. So they house sit. So it kind of breaks my heart that here's Dora, I'm not homeless. I have a house. And here I am on a house sitting site trying to find, bid for, house sits over other people that are actually legitimately homeless. If they don't have anywhere to live, they're living in their car. So I feel a little dirty. I'm going to be honest. I feel a little dirty. And that's probably why I haven't got into this earlier and tried to find somewhere to stay. But I have to address it now because it's under a month. And, when the power and the water gets turned off, we can't be here. I mean, mind you, I did say to Diego, why can't we just put a tent in the backyard and we'll get one of those, portable toilets kind of thing. Like you pay for a proper toilet and a shower. You get a proper shower and toilet, right? And we can put a big electricity cord from the neighbours so we could have power. I could still do lives in the backyard out of my tent. But, it is January. It is going to be hot as hell. It's also storm season. It's probably not ideal, right? So, to Paul's point, my mother rings me this morning. She goes, "Hey, what do you think?" And I'm like, "What do you think?" I don't know. What am I thinking? She goes, "I sent you a voice message." I'm like, "Okay, I haven't listened to it. What did you say?" And she goes, "How about you borrow your sister's pop-up trailer or pop-up camper and go to a caravan park?" Not a bad idea. Paul, you had the same idea. This is why I'm doing this live, because I need to gather my thoughts and, yeah, figure it out. So if you're new here and you're wondering what all this commotion is, it's Dora dribbling about first world problems. Sorry, I'm really sorry if you are homeless at the moment and, have real life problems and you're listening to Dora rabbit on about, trying to find somewhere to live because they're renovating a house. I know my privilege here and I get it and I feel disgusting about it. And that's why, honestly, honestly, I believe that's why I probably didn't get on the house sitting sites earlier. I trust the universe and I think that, timing's everything, guys. And even though like it's under a month's time that I've got to find somewhere to live, it is what it is, right? This is how I this is how I rock, guys. um and I know like Paul has been organizing his trip to Bali like 6 months ago. And Paul knew about, told me about his dates about going to Bali and meeting up with Paul like months ago. And I'm still doing that. It's on my list, Paul. It's on my list. Like I said, it's on my list, along with what else is on my list of brain dump ideas. Taxes. I need to do my taxes for 23, 24 year. And so actually I have done my taxes. I just haven't submitted them. Right. So Dora does her own bookwork, which is probably never a good idea. But anyway, I've survived this long. I've been self-employed for about 6 years. Haven't ended up in jail yet. You rented an on-site van. Well, I talked about, I rang up a couple of we've got two in Redcliffe. Only one of them does vans. They're $800 a week. They're not vans. They're not like, you're talking about like those little donga kind of things. Um, these are like holiday homes, camp vans, or cabins in a camper in a very fancy. So Paul, Scarborough at all? Scarborough is quite a very fancy area in Redcliffe. That's where that caravan park is. It's $800 a week. No, can't do that. To lift the house is costing. Sorry about the bouncing, guys. Um, the To lift the house is costing about 40 grand. So just say, guys, we are trying to do this very cost effective. That's why I was doing the home sitting, because home sitting's free, right? You exchange looking after someone's house or looking after their dog for free. So that's why I was looking at that, guy. So just putting it out to the universe. If you know of someone, or if you are going on holidays and just randomly decided to go on holidays in January, around January 10th till the middle of March, and you would like a reliable person, I am reliable. I'm a bit chaotic, but I won't kill your dog. I love animals. We have chickens. I've had dogs. I like dog walking. I won't. I mean, I look after your house. But I need to get back to Redcliffe. That's the problem. Like, I need to water plants here. We need to look after our animals. Hello, family. Hi, light God in darkness. Hello, how are you? So I'm putting out to the universe. If you know of anyone around the Brisbane North area that is going on holidays for 3 months, put it out there. Yours was an actual caravan. Yeah, see that's perfect, right? So anyway, I rang my mum. Sorry, I rang my sister. We can get used to the pop-up camper. The only issue is at the moment it is at another location, which is not which is okay. We can get that. It's in another. It's up the Sunshine Coast. It has some mold on the roof, so I guess my brother-in-law was trying to fix it. I don't think it's like the roof is exposed, so there's probably ways around that. Um, we haven't confirmed that yet, but that's looking very highly probable that might be the option. I rang the other caravan park, so not at Scarborough, which is quite a fancy one. The one that's down at Clontarf. It's going to be $266 a week, which, in the scale of life is not that bad. I mean, I know I'd like to have a house sit, but guys, I'm going to be honest. Last night, we were both on the house sitting sites and it was kind of very negative. Like looking at people are there's hot they're professional people and you can tell they're going from house sit to house sit to house sit. That's how they live, right? Because they don't actually have a house. And I feel like finding a 3 month, are there rentals on Facebook? Yeah, but Paul, like, rentals probably going to cost us like $500-600 a week. That's the problem. Like, and we can't afford that. If push comes to push, we have to. But like, you think about it, like we have to pay our mortgage and everything while we're here, even though we're not here, and we have to pay for the renovation and all that cost. Plus, we have to pay to live somewhere. It's adding up, right? And then next year's also a big year for me. Like, going to Bali to see you, going to Africa. I know I sound like a fucking. I know how I sound, guys. I'm really sorry. I know I sound terrible. Um, but yeah, these are the things I need to go through. And I was really actually looking forward to doing the house sitting. Hi, Charlotte. How you going? Oh, Charlotte. Actually, I haven't seen you for ages. How are you? I think it's the Charlotte I'm thinking of. Is it Charlotte that I've talked into a live ages and ages ago? Rusty. Hello, Rusty. How you going? Um, so anyway, guys, we're just talking about first world problems. Um, I'm looking for a house to somewhere to house sit in January, February, and March. It is, Charlotte. It's been a while. Charlotte, from memory, you're Australian, right? You're in, I think, in Sydney. Yeah, so Paul, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, mate. Honestly, I'm going to be honest. I have friends that have Airbnbs in their houses, so like we could, rent like an Airbnb, kind of like rent their room out. Like for example, my friend Gabriella, which you've met before, Gabriella, she actually has an Airbnb in her house. So underneath their house, they actually have, two bedrooms, which is ideal. But again, remember, she's there to make money, right? I'm not here to take advantage of anyone. Um, so she needs to make an income. She's actually looking for a job. So I can't say, hey, well, can you do it for, for half the price? I just don't think that's fair, right? Um, and like staying at someone's house for 3 months is a long time. I don't want to wear out my welcome. Like, even when people come to stay at my house, if it's more than a week, it gets annoying, right? Like, you have your own routine. So, having someone in your space for 3 weeks or 3 months, yeah, no, like, if someone was desperate, I'd put them in my house. I'd say, yeah, sure, no problem. I don't want to see you homeless. But at the same time, I'm not going to enjoy it, right? So, yeah, okay, you are Charlotte from Sydney. How are you? Charlotte, I was just in Sydney last week, actually. So yeah, anyway, so I think I've poo-pooed the idea of house sitting. I just we're gonna wait to hit confirm tonight if we can borrow this camper. If that is true, then tomorrow I'll ring up the camper van, the caravan place and book that in. So we can only book for 6 weeks. So apparently this is the rule with caravan parks. You can only book for 6 weeks. You can't. They don't want you living there permanently, obviously. Obviously, again, there's a lot of people homeless that people are literally moving their caravan to places and just staying there. So yeah, so if you just come in, Charlotte, we're renovating our house and we actually literally are having to move out of the house in January. Hey, Deb, how you going? Oh, Deb, every time you come to my lives, you just miss me, literally just miss me. So here I am, I'm live. You can pinch me. Pinch me, Deb, pinch me. Pinch my cheeks. I'm here. Oh, Deb, that hurt. So yeah, Deb, we're just talking about, and Charlotte or anyone new to the chat, I'm just talking to Paul about how basically our house is getting lifted. It's getting gutted underneath, lifted higher, and moved on the side on the property. So yeah, Deb, just lightly, just a little. Ooh, do that one. That's better, right? Trust me, I've had lots of experience with these chubby cheeks. People are always going like this or like this. You're so cute. I'm like, oh, thank you. Yeah, I've always had chubby cheeks, guys, and that's just part of my thing. Every time family members see me, they're always like, "Oh, look at you growing up." Yeah, thanks. Thanks. I'm 80. I'm 50 now. So yeah. Anyway, um, when I was looking, so the house is getting all the water, sewerage, water's turned off. Everything's turned off, so we can't live here. We can't even squat here, guys. I'm in Redcliffe in Queensland, so I'm about 30 kilometres away from Brisbane. So if you have any friends up here, Charlotte, that are going on holidays and would like a reliable house sitter or dog sitter, I'm your girl. But it has to be my dates, right? I mean, I'm able to go earlier, but our dates are from the middle of January to the middle of March. And, there's a high chance that it could go over too. So this is the other thing. So I've been looking at house sitting sites, but every time I look at a house sitting site, it's pretty obvious that there's a lot more house sitting people than are people that actually own houses that want someone to stay in them. So maybe about actually 7 years ago, guys, 7 years ago, Diego and I went to Nepal, India, and Tibet for 3 months. And we were looking for a house sitter because we've got a dog, right? And chickens. Did we have chickens back then? No, I think we just had a dog. And, you want someone living in your house. You can't leave your house 3 months locked up. And we have an old house, right? People were just gonna break in and squat there. So and that's the other thing, right? If you don't have a nice house, people don't wanna stay there. So this is very hard to find house sitters, guys. Well, back in the day it was, 7 years ago. Um, I actually had people come and look up the house, and because it's an old house, so, um, we eventually found 2 backpackers couple that basically we didn't even meet them. We met them on the day they moved in, and then the next day we went on holidays. Thank God they were good people because we loved our dog, right? And we had to trust them that, because what do you do, right? This is the problem when you go on when you travel is, if you don't have like like an apartment that you can just lock the doors and it's pretty much safe, but you're in a house, you're in the elements, right? So everyone's saying hello to Deb and Paul. Deb, we've missed you. Sorry, mate. I'm really sorry that you've missed our lives for the last couple of days. Trust me, I've been live. And Charlotte, yeah, where have you been? I missed you. I haven't seen you for ages either. So, guys, Charlotte 5314 is from Sydney, and we made friends on a chat like this one day. So it's nice to be able to chat instead of me walking along and not actually looking at the chat. So that's why I just thought I'd connect back in while I'm on a live. Help you. You can help me with my brain dump that I'm trying to do. So when I talk about brain dumps, I talk about writing all the things that are on my brain. Like I've got to do my taxes. Funnily enough, I'm up to date with my invoicing, which is hard to believe because I'm self-employed and I literally just went through 3 months of not paying myself. So I've just fixed that up. So I've paid myself now. I haven't done my taxes for the last 2 years. I've got to fix that up. Um, I need to everything underneath the house. I've got a 2-story house. It is it's not legal because the house is too short underneath. The house was built in the 70s. So back in the 70s, there was no restrictions, right? You can just build how you want to build. So the house is, if we ever wanted to rent the house out, it wouldn't be classed as, a legal height. And we've just put Diego is a builder. So he's put a massive big deck on the front of the house and the side of the house. And that means underneath the house is really dark. So it's not ideal. And also the foundations of our house is cracking and sinking. It's when it's really hot, we have like a salt buildup on the concrete. It's really bad. So we need to pick up the foundations. So yeah, it's a lot. Look, and I guess I know my privilege. Like, there's a lot of people homeless at the moment. I get it. Um, yeah, so that's why I think I felt really icky about trying to find a house sit. I've got it I've put it out there. I've put it on Facebook. My friends have shared it around. You never know what might transpire. But let's face it, if someone's planning on going holidays for 3 months or 4 months or 5 months, whatever, they've already found a house sitter, right? So anyway, but yeah, like I said, my mum sent me a message this morning saying, "Hey, how about borrow your sister's pop-up trailer?" So she's got one of those Jaycos. Funnily enough, Jayco. Remember, I applied for a job with Jayco, didn't get the job, but we've ended up with a Jayco. Funny how that works, hey? Manifesting 101. I'm not sure this is exactly how I would have been manifesting, but very interesting. I'm going to write that down because that's very interesting. There's a couple of really interesting manifesting things that have happened lately. Manifesting story. Let me go to that story because that's way more interesting than what I'm talking about right now. So, guys, do you actually manifest? I'm just curious out there. Do you manifest? Love to know. Do you manifest? And do you know what I'm talking about? Like putting your intentions out to the world? I guess it's like praying. It could be praying. It could be chanting. It could be, I don't know. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like just saying, putting your intentions out to the world. Like, I would like a house sit for 3 months from middle of January to the middle of March, putting out to the universe and just stepping out of its way. I know I should have probably done this a couple of months ago, guys. I know that. But here I am. But so through my week, right, I was talking to a friend And I was saying how you guys have heard me talk about my dad's dictionary. So my dad has wrote a dictionary of botanical names. It's really a resource for people that like native plants. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not that into native plants. I'm more into vegetables and growing fruit and vegetables that I can eat. But my dad is no longer with us, and that book is still in circulation. I've just sent a book down to Paul, actually. So Paul used to live on the Gold Coast and did a course through TAFE, and he used to borrow my dad's book from the library. So my dad is, he's amazing. He's still here, right? He's with us, right? He's in my soul. Um, and this property that I live in is actually my dad's house. I bought the house off him before he passed away. I didn't think he was going to die, unfortunately. I thought he would live forever. And when you get to a certain age, you become asset rich. You have a house, but you don't have money from the government. You only get the money that you get for your pension. So his house was pretty much falling down. So I had to help. I was a bit worried that my dad's front stairs would fall down, literally, or the side stairs would fall down. The plumbing was bad, everything. So anyway, I bought the house off him because I thought I needed to buy something as an asset because everything in Redcliffe was getting up. Prices for things are just going more and more expensive. So I thought, well, if I bought the house, it would help me buy something, and at least I have an asset and I could help fix up the house while my dad was still alive, right? But unfortunately, that didn't work. He passed away. But that's okay. I was very lucky to have my dad, and he was a great dad. And I think he'd be really proud of the fact that we didn't bulldoze the house and we renovated it. And it's going to be an amazing house when it's finished. But yeah, until then, here we are. But through the week, I said to a friend, you know what? I've been telemarketing. So I have a whole the book that I sell for my dad. This is not an income I get, guys. It's just a hobby. My sister in Sydney, she does this retail sales, like Facebook sales. She has we have a Facebook page where basically people go on there and identify plants and just talk about plants. I don't have much input into that because I don't know much about plants. So Paul, I'm going to send you the link because if you're into Facebook, maybe you're interested in that page. So from that page, a lot of people, not a lot of people, but people buy the book, and we send it to them. I think it costs $42.95 delivered. But I do the wholesale price on sales. So I have a group of people that used to buy the book of my dad and now continue buying it off me. And then I've obviously done some telemarketing. A couple of years ago, I was down in Bateman's Bay and I went to the Ulladulla Botanical Gardens and had a chat with someone there. And of course, they said, "Oh, we'd love to buy your book." So then I sent them 10 books. Anyway, so long story short, bit by bit with telemarketing and going to different places. When I go hiking a lot, so I'll go to these botanical gardens and check them out. Like when I was in Sydney, I went to the botanical gardens in Sydney and I went and looked at their visitor centre. And unfortunately, the visitor centre there is more tourist generated. Not too many people are interested in a Australian resource book about plants that's just only Australian only. So I'm not gonna. I mean, it's worth a call. It's worth a call, but they don't even have any local. They had one native plant book, so it really wasn't. I don't want to sell people a book that's going to sit there on the shelf and like get dusty. It doesn't look good, and it's not a very. It's not a nice thing to do, right? My dad was very proud of the book. He wanted the book to go to people that you don't use Facebook. Okay, fair enough. Um, So, he wanted the book to go to people that will read it. He doesn't want to sit on a book and, make money out of it. Like we don't make money out of it anyway. We sell it for cost. We self-publish it. We don't go to China and get it published, mass produced or anything like that, which should save us lots of money. My dad had the same ethos as I do, kind of support local businesses. Unfortunately, the local business that was a printing company here in Redcliffe has been sold up by a big company, as they do. It's now gone to another area. It's not too far away from where I live, but it's not a local company anymore. But anyway, keep it simple, stupid. We just still get it printed with them. Every year it goes up more, a little bit more money. We haven't changed the price of the book in years. I'm not selling the book, guys, at all, guys. But I did a bit of a ring through today, through the week, saying, do you need some books? And around my area, because obviously that's where my dad lived, there's a lot more demand for the book because that's, a lot more people know his name. Um, So yeah, I said he's not famous, but people within the plant environmental kind of area know of my father. So that's why a lot of people would buy the book in this area. So I rang a couple of places like Coolum. Coolum is on Sunshine Coast. It's a really nice location. Mullaney, where my mum lives, where I went yesterday, have two locations that carry the book. So I rang all those places up and saying, hey, look, I know it's really last minute for Christmas, but if you want some, I can deliver them. I thought, yeah, good excuse for a holiday, like a holiday for an adventure. I'd go up to Coolum for an adventure, right? I'll deliver the books. I charge $22 for delivery. So that's a bit of my petrol, right? And then I'd go do the hike at Coolum, like Mount Coolum hike. But unfortunately, I tried to call them. I left a message and I emailed them. No, actually, Coolum said they've still got some. So that's why they didn't want any. So not going to Coolum this week. But Mulaney wanted some. So anyway, funnily enough, I was on the phone to my girlfriend and I said to her, I'm just telling her how I was like, I would love to go to Coolum. I said, I probably need an excuse to go up to Mulaney. I said, I probably, my mum wants me to go up there. And she's been talking about me going up there for a little while. Haven't gone platypus chasing for a while. I said, I rang two places in Mulaney and, I'll put it out to the universe to see what happens. Guess what? 8 hours later, I got an email. We'd love 10 books. So guess what Dora did yesterday? She went and took the books and delivered them. That way they get them faster. They get to sell them faster, hopefully for Christmas time as a present. And Dora got an adventure yesterday. She went up to Mulaney where the platypus live. Did we see a platypus? No, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's part of the adventure, right? When you go looking for animals, it's about the journey, not sometimes the destination, right? Like the destination is just something that you end up in. But, I got to, walk amongst beautiful trees by the river, which is so peaceful for your brain. I took you on the Obi Obi boardwalk, which I love, love, love. I love, love, love that boardwalk. I think it's just such a beautiful walk. With an aging population here in Australia, and so many more people sitting on couches, not actually walking. I think it's really nice to be able to have a accessible walkway that people in wheelchairs or wheelie walkers, and it's not very long. But you did the dance. Yes, you saw that, Deb. Yes, I did the dance. So that means it guarantees, Deb, that next time we go up to Mulaney, we all see a platypus. Next time. And I did call it my manifesting dance, manifesting the platypus. Maybe the platypus were there and I didn't see them because I was too busy looking at the chat. That could be very probable too. That could be very probable. So, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, manifesting. Let's just talk about manifesting. I've I've manifested quite a few things, eh? But it's interesting now that we think about this, the opportunity to stay in a Jayco. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, a Jayco is like a pop-up, like a camper van that pops up and it goes out. So it goes up, it's like a canvas top, it's like a half tent. And then you pop up the sides. In the middle, you've got like a table of chairs that four people can sit at, two people comfortably. Um, you've got a sink, you've got a cooktop, you've got a couple of cupboards. So, I literally, Diego and I could have a double bed each, or we could sleep together and then, invite some people to have sleep on the other side. Um, yeah. So anyway, yeah, like literally a couple of months ago, there was a job going for the greatest job in the world, they called it. Jayco is, they sell caravans, vans, proper caravans, pop-up tents, everything, right? And they were looking for an ambassador for 1 year. They would pay you $65,000 a year and they would pay the expenses of, your camp, that they give you a camper van or a van to use and they pay the expenses. And I thought, what an amazing opportunity would that be for me to travel around Australia? And, I really want to see the middle of Australia. Um, but unfortunately, it went to someone else, better deserving. A couple, they're a young couple. One person was from the UK and one person was Australian. So they had this lovely love story. They used to live next door to each other. Then they met again in their, 20s and they fell in love and now they're traveling the world. Hey, Debbie Sue, how you going? So Debbie Sue, I'm having You always like every time you come to my channel, you're like, oh, what are you up to now, Dora? So I'm just telling everyone how basically this is a very first world problem, guys. You know that we're renovating our house. Well, in under a month, Debbie Sue, our house is going to get lifted. So it's getting lifted and moved. So when you lift a house, you have to turn off the power, electricity, and the sewerage, which means you can't live in it. So I have to find somewhere to live for both of us, Diego and I, for 3 months. So going to Phuket is probably now out of the question. And the fact that, there is another opportunity to see that DJ that I want to see in February. And my sister said I can go to Sydney and see that. So I need to take that out of my question. Renovating a house is very expensive, right? And next year I have a couple of trips planned. And I have left it really last minute to find an opportunity to find somewhere to live. The rental market right now is ridiculous. There's no way we'll find a rental for 3 months. Plus, I can't afford to pay $600 a week for a rental. We pay a mortgage on this house already, right? And then obviously expenses of, Oh, so Debbie Sue, you missed, I did an update about Phuket. Um, doesn't matter. We'll talk about that later. But so basically, yeah, I mean, it's very expensive renovating a house, and you got to live and do all the expenses of normal life, which is obviously getting more and more expensive as we speak. And so like renting somewhere is out of the question, and so many people are trying to find somewhere to live. So that's out of the question too. Like, there are people legitimately homeless, professionals that, their house they're renting is getting sold, so they have to move out of that house, and they've got families and children, and they're effectively homeless. So I feel really, really guilty. Like, that's why I haven't even gone there. I'm not even looking at a rental because legitimately, we're not really, you know, in the rental market. We just need someone to stay for 3 months. So, if Debbie Sue or Paul or Deb was, living around the corner, I'd be saying, hey, do you mind if I stay in your house for 1 week and like pimp myself out to all these different people? It's not really realistic to say, I've got my best mate Mel. She lives down the road, right? I've already talked to her about it, and she's open. Doesn't want me to stay there for 3 months. It's not ideal, but she wouldn't want to see me homeless, right? I mean, I could stay at my mum's. My mum lives in Mullaney. I mean, that's an option, guys. She's a donga. I've got it set up already. There's a double bed, queen size bed. There's a toilet. My mum would feed me every day, but it's not ideal. Like, it's an hour and a half away, literally nearly an hour and a half away from where I live. So to work, that's a lot. And Diego works on the other side of town normally. We have to come back to the house quite regularly, look after the chickens. We can't take the chickens with us. So every day we need to come back to the house. Um, so yeah, we're not going to be homeless. Not being dramatic. We won't be homeless, but it's not ideal, right? In between stuff, we can stay at my mum's or my friends. I've got quite a few friends. I mean, I could pay to stay. Gabriella has Airbnb. So Debbie Sue knows Gabriella. She, at the bottom of her house, she has 2 spare bedrooms that she set up that they're Airbnbs. But that's like $110 a night, something like that. I don't know. There's a cheaper rate for a weekly, but I can't take advantage of that. Like, Gabriella's looking for a job, so I can't say, hey, Gabriella, I can't afford to, I've got a mortgage, I've got this and I've got that. Poor Didim's Dora. Can I stay there for free? Can't do that. Um, so house sitting, that's where we're at, house sitting. I actually have done many videos of house sitting, but I just have never ever edited them. House sitting is a great way to, stay in some place and experience a location that you don't live, and you get there to stay there for free and look after a dog or a cat. So I've done maybe about 4 or 5 house sits in the last 2 or 3 years. One in Cairns, one at Burleigh Heads, which was amazing. Yeah, Debbie Sue, it's an amazing idea, right? But Debbie Sue, but um you're the type of person that believe that things happen for reasons, right, Debbie Sue, right? Diego has been hassling me to write an ad. Like, I'm more social media savvy than him. Plus, he's doing the building and the renovating, right? So I need to do something. So he's like, your job is to find somewhere to live. I'm like, yep, okay, on it. I don't know. In my head, I didn't think it was going to be that hard. But there's a lot of stuff going on in my head, right? So I was in Sydney. Diego's going, have you wrote the ad? Have you put anything online? Nope, nope. I will. I'm busy right now. I'm tired. I've walked 1,000 steps, right? Whatever. So anyway, this week I wrote the ad. I put it online there's a whole lot of Facebook sites. And guess what I found? So you know how I was talking about I didn't want to go the rental route because, there's legitimately people that are homeless looking for houses to rent. It's kind of the same in the house sitting reams. So you can become a professional house sitter. You don't actually have a house. You just go from house sit to house sit to house sit. One of my best friends, Tammy, has that. So that's what she does. She has a house. She has it rented out. And that's what she's done for the last 3, 4 years. Actually, I think it's even been 5 years. She just goes from house sitting to house sitting to house sitting. So now she has regular house sits. So she has some people that go away 6 months of the year, and that's locked in every year religiously. So, I mean, that's an ideal place to, it's free and you have a nice clean house to live in for 6 months. Obviously, I've put in the dates that we're available from January the 8th to the middle of March. It's 3 months. It's a long time. Not everyone goes away for 3 months. So when I went onto the websites or the Facebook pages, most of it's sitter, professional house sitter, finishing up a house sit at this date. So they've gone from one house sit to another house sit. So they've got lots of references. And not that I care about that because I could get references. As I said, I've house sitted people in Redcliffe. I've house sitted people, strangers' houses. I can get I can get a reference. It's not an issue. But I guess what I'm trying to say is legitimately there are people that's what they do. And the 3 month ones or the 4 month ones, they're the ones that everyone wants. They're gold, right? So like my friend Tammy, when she finds someone that wants to look for someone to stay at their house for 3 months, she jumps on that. She jumps on that. That's like liquid gold. Because, if you stay somewhere from 1 week to another week, you're packing up your car. It's like going on holidays for it's like backpacking. You're going from one room to another room, even though we've got a car, it's hard. So anyway, last night, Diego's on the website. I'm on the website. I'm like, we're pulling our hair out going, oh, there's one at the Sunshine Coast. There's one there. There's one there. So legitimately, we're going to have to go from 1 week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks, overlap with each other. Like, I might stay at one house sit for 1 week and then Diego might have to start the house sit a bit earlier to start for the next one. That's probable, right? And, that'd be good content for Facebook, right? Or YouTube, should I say. But I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm tired. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm trying to look after my health. I'm trying to be less stressed on my life. And eating's really important. Sleep's really important. So, like, for example, if I'm staying at my friend's house, hey, Carlos, how you going? Sending you a hug from Brazil. Thank you. Um, Sending you a hug from Australia. Um, so, like, if I was staying at my friend's house, like in between house sits, we could stay at friends' houses or my mum's, right? But again, I'll put it out there, right, for my mum, right? I have a routine. And I know this is really poor Didham's Dora, fuck your routine, right? But like I've come a long way to be healthy, guys. I've come a long way to be healthy. I talk about how, I'm trying to lose a little bit more extra weight so that I take pressure off my knees. I have a diagnosis on my knee that we don't even talk about. But I've come a long way. And you're right. Like Debbie Sue's saying, yeah, coming off 75 hard, you don't need more stress. I don't need more stress. I'm gonna be honest. And like going from one house sit to another house sit to another house sit, packing up the car. Like I work, I drive my car around for my job. So can you imagine me driving around my car with all my clothes in the back of my car? It's just not ideal. And my makeup's not that I wear makeup, but like your cosmetical stuff and your toothbrush, your like your laptop and stuff. Like it's just not it's not good, right? Um so Paul deleted a message. Obviously that Brazil guy was a bit weirdo, but anyway, who cares? Um yeah, so what I'm trying to say, it's I'm trying not to sound like a sport brat. In life, it is what it is, right? Um, but I'm looking at this easiest solution, right? And my mum rang me this morning and said, hey, how about you borrow a pop-up camper from your sister So you know those caravans, they're like the roof pops up and they come out the side, so you have more room. So my sister has one of them. We've borrowed it before. They're actually quite comfortable. And why don't you take it to a caravan park? So I started this live talking about brain dump because in here there's a whole lot of things that I'm stressed about that I need to just get right down. Like I said, it's the stressful time of year, and I need to get things off my brain, and this is really important to me because I need somewhere to live. And without sounding dramatic, but like, I really want to look after my health, and stress is a big thing of it. So before I get to like, a couple of weeks beforehand where I'm really fucking manic trying to find out where the hell I'm going to live, I'm addressing it now. And by talking it out, I know this sounds really, really weird that I'm doing this on a live, but when you put it out, you talk about it, like I'm hearing what I'm saying and I'm writing down things. I'm manifesting, putting it out to the universe. Things happen, right? I don't know if, I know it's a strange way of doing it, but this seems to be how I do it. And it works. It honestly works. So I rang up the caravan park. We've got 2 caravan parks in Redcliffe. Like I said, we need to be near home. The chickens here, we've got indoor plants that I kill all the time. So if I come home, I can be able to water them. I don't know what kind of access we're going to have to the house. If the house is going to be lifted, it's going to be just a whole pit of mess here. There'll be a long ladder that you have to climb up to get up to the house. I think I might leave that to Diego. It's not realistic to take all my indoor plants to a friend's house. So anyway, talking about this, Debbie Sue, you said the pop-up camper, it could work. So Paul even said that. So as soon as I started the live, Paul's like, he goes, when I used to live in Brisbane, I stayed in a caravan park and rented a caravan. So that's possible too. I've rang that option up too. Um, the problem is it's very expensive. Where I live is a bit of a holiday town. We could go outside the location and try to get a cheaper camper caravan, but to keep it simple, stupid, it's better to stay in the location where we live. It's easy, like that's where we live. We work in this area. We've got access to the house easier, the chickens easier. Um, yeah, so it looked like it might actually be the answer. So anyway, I messaged my sister and said, "Is that a possibility?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'll talk to my partner. He works away at the moment, so she'll talk to him tonight." The camper isn't at their house at the moment. It's up on the Sunshine Coast. Apparently, there's something that he's trying to fix on it. So we've got a month. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be probable. We'll find that out tonight. So I'll do an update tomorrow about that one. But I don't really want to go on you got to pay for the private websites for house sitting. They're $60. Most of them are about $60 each for the year. Um, or even for a couple of months. I thought instead of wasting that money for one day, like I've waited this long. What's one day, right? Because if I start putting it out there, like, okay, let's book that one in. Hi, how you going? Do a FaceTime or go see them, meet them. All the things that you got to do to, like, it's like dating, guys. Like, you're like, hi, how you going? My name's Dora. No, really, Muriara. My name's Muriara and Ben. We're professional people. We're looking for a house sit because we're renovating our house. We're reliable. We like animals. We've got references. It's like dating, guys. That's work. Oh my God. Like, you couldn't get me on one of those dating sites again. It's fucking horrendous. Horrendous, guys. Horrendous. I've got single friends and they're on those dating sites and they're like, you know what? I'd rather be single for the rest of my life because it's that bad. It's that bad. So it kind of feels the same to me to go onto these websites and try to, get a date basically. And, if I secure in a couple of house sits and then suddenly I get another house sit that covers the whole time, guess what? I'm going to ring up these other people and say, oh, sorry. Yeah, I know I said I really, really wanted your house sit, but I've got a better house sit. You know what I'm saying? I feel dirty. They're dirty. And then also that, people on those house sits legitimately need somewhere to stay. They don't actually have anywhere to stay. They have no family or friends and they go from house sit to house sit to house sit or they sleep in their car. I can't do that to someone. I know I don't know if that's a true or not, but if you go onto these websites, actually, we can go onto the websites right now. House sitting Oh, I started looking on YouTube. That's not a good idea. House sitting. House sitting. Brisbane. Now I'm looking at house sitting Brisbane. Okay, let's have a look what it says here. House sitting Brisbane. So you got to join the sites first of all. Oh, here we go. House sitting. Okay, so let me just read you some of these guys. Okay. Okay. Byron Ree. Got a picture of her and a dog. Friendly, caring, honest, careful, respectful. As a full-time non-smoking house sitter, see, these are people are full-timers, right? People, hey Gaza, how you going? So Gaza, I'm just talking about Diego and I are renovating our house, and in the middle of January, so less than a month away, our house is getting lifted. So the power, electricity, sewerage, all getting turned off. So we can't live in the house. So I need to find somewhere to live for 3 months. So you got any friends that are going away for 3 months around Brisbane? I'm your girl. So I'm just talking about house sitting sites. So I'm just talking about this lady. She's a full-time house sitter. Full-time house sitter. Amy and Arvo. We are a family of 3. We are friendly, animal lovers, approachable, reliable house sitters who treat your home and pets with respect and love and care. There's a lot of older people too. This is what people do. They're semi-retired, and this is a way of cutting down expenses is to house sit professionally. So this is one, Rebecca and Charles. We're warm, down-to-earth family traveling around Australia in a caravan. We love gardening, home care, plenty of experience owning and caring for animals. So, people that are traveling around Australia in caravans to have a break from living in a caravan. Hey, Kevin, how you going? Shared on Reddit. Cool. So we're talking about house sitting at the moment because first world problem is that in a month's time, I have to move out of the house. We have to vacate the house we're living in because it's getting renovated or it's getting lifted and moved. So trying to find somewhere to stay is a real issue. So Gaz has got here, okay, cool, expensive rent around Brisbane. Yeah, I can't rent anywhere because we're already paying a mortgage and the cost of, how much a house costs to, do the renovations. Hey Paula, how you going? Um, so you've got here, why not buy a cheap trailer and put it on your land? You're talking my language, Gaza. So I said to Diego a while ago, let's get a van. I've been talking about van life for a million years. Actually, Kevin, who's in Canada, I think you talk about van life on your channel, don't you, on Tuber Chat? Um, so anyway, the idea of buying a van got poo-pooed, guys, because technically we don't have a huge frontage at the front of our house. And if you're going to lift the house, there's going to be big trucks here and you're in the way, right? So when you're lifting a house, there's big machinery, the land is not stable. It's yeah, you want to vacate the area. So we can't stay on the area. So long story short, we're looking at potentially trying to get a house sit for 3 months. Leaving it this late is actually really hard, guys. So anyone knows anyone in Brisbane area in Australia that is going on holidays between the middle of January to March, professional person that will look after your house and your dog and your animals and your. So Tuber Chat's got van life. We have a few creators doing actual van life. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'd love to do van life. Love, love, love to do van life. I mean, honestly, I'm going to be tell you the honest, guys. House sitting is so much fun, guys. I've done a few house sits. I mean, even though I have a house, I actually put myself out there to do house sitting because it's a different experience, right? You get to live in a different location. I can still work. Like, for example, I was working from home for one stage. Hi, Damien. He's got high nerd. Thanks. Um, yeah, I was working from home. So I went to the Gold Coast and I lived in a house Gold Coast area, Burleigh Beach is amazing location, guys. So if you know much about Australia, Burleigh is like the duck's nuts. It's gorgeous location. Like I was like 5 minutes from the beach. I stayed there for a week to look after two dogs for free. And like I had a holiday, right? Hey Mike, how you going? So it's a great way to have an experience. But it's also the reality of where we live right now, guys. In any country, whether you're in Canada, you're in America with Debbie, Sue, and Mike, you're in the UK or in Australia or New Zealand. People are struggling to pay rent, so they become rent. They basically become homeless and professional house sitters. That's what actually happens. They become professional house sitters. Like I'm reading ads here right now on websites. Right, listen to this. You've got I'm a full-time non-smoker house sitter with 4 years experience. So they go from house sit to house sit to house sit, right? Then here's another one. I mean, this is awesome, guys. This is Rebecca and Charles. We're a warm, down-to-earth family traveling around Australia in our caravan. We love gardening, home care, and plenty of experience looking after animals. So when people are traveling around Australia to have a bit of a break from van life or caravanning, they stay in people's house sitting. So they book house sits all around Australia and they just travel around. I mean, what a great way to do it, like, right? So our friend Jazz Nomad TV, she does house sitting. So she did a house sit in France and she loved it. She did about a month and like it doesn't cost any money. And, hey, Lavender, how you going? Lavender, you're still here. I thought the 16 plus thing, that means your channel would go. So anyway, guys, in Australia, YouTube social media has been cut for 16s and unders. So I'm just wondering why Lavender's still here. But anyway, so we're talking about the topic of house sitting, potentially becoming a van lifer, becoming living in a caravan. I mean, this is the reality, guys. Or basically pimping myself out to many people. So, like, Damien lives in Australia, in Brisbane. Gaza lives in Brisbane. So, Gaza, Damien, I might be coming to stay at your house for 1 week. I'm sure you'd be cheering for that. But can I bring my boyfriend too? I'm not sure how happy you'd be about that. Um, yeah, Mike. Yeah. No, I'm 60 now. Oh, you're 16 now. I thought it was 16 and under. Okay, righto. Okay, well, excellent. No, I actually was been talking on my channel that I walked past Lavender's Rock this morning, actually, at the beach, and said, "Oh my God, Lavender! I don't even know if that Lavender's channel is still around." So, welcome, guys. I know it sounds like a little bit of a first world problem. Poor Dora. She's could be homeless in a couple of months, like in a month's time. But I'm just talking through my problems. I'm doing a brain dump. I was just talking initially about writing down all my issues. It works, right? Write down your issues. Like I need to do my tax. I'm self-employed. I need to do my tax. But the biggest thing I need to do is to figure out where I'm going to stay in a month's time. Literally. Because again, guys, the easiest option would be to go stay at one of my best friend's houses for 3 months. Mel, I've already talked to her. She's like, yep, I'm up for it. She lives down the road. We can come home and check on the chickens. We can come home and water the plants. But can you imagine me moving into your house for 3 months? Just putting it out there. I mean, Mike, Mike, just pretend we live down the road from each other. Can you imagine me coming to live in one of your spare rooms for 3 months if you had a spare room? I mean, I'm going to put it out there. It's not convenient. You're not going to love it. And like, I talked about just a little while ago that, I've got myself quite healthy into healthy routines. I did 75 hard. That was hard, guys. I don't want to undo that damage I did. Like, I've got really good habits now. I have cameras everywhere. What's that supposed to mean? I don't want to go there, but anyway, that's my brain. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that, like, I've got myself into some really good habits, and like on a Sunday, you would love it. I think it'd be. I'd love to play with all your toys, Mike. I'd be out on your boat, driving all your trucks. You got a couple of wheelie, like those four wheelers in your backyard. I'd be like, woohoo, see ya, Mike. And then you come home and you're like, why is it broken? Whoops. Um, but you know what I'm trying to say, guys? It's not convenient. I think about it. I put myself in other people's places, right? If someone said to me, Like, just say Gaza. Just say Gaza and I are good mates, right? Gaza lives in Brisbane, right? Gaza says to me, "Hey, Dora, I really need somewhere to stay. I'm renovating my house. I need someone to stay for 3 months. I'm clean, I'm organized, I've got a job, I'm not going to be in your house, all the time." I'm like, perfect. Okay. So imagine Gaza coming into, like, we have one spare room in this house at the moment. It's right next to our bedroom. So I snore, Diego snores. I'm a loud person. I walk and I stomp. I'm on YouTube. I make a lot of noise. I'm up early in the morning. I'm up late. I'm going to piss you off. And probably you're going to piss me off too, Gaza, because Gaza might, he might, I don't know, he might have some kind of weird trait that I didn't know about. And now he's in my house for 3 months and I can't kick him out because I feel really bad. So, that effectively, I'm just trying to put people in my place. Like, it's not always convenient. I'm a lot. You guys know that. I'm a lot. So imagine me living in your house for 3 months. I mean, it might sound fun for a little while, but then I'm going to start, wanting to put, on a Sunday, make my salads, and I'm going to take over your fridge. Like, I need a lot of room to put my salads for my lunches. And, I'm trying to eat healthy. I drink a lot of water. Yeah, these kind of things, guys. So, you know what I'm saying? It's not easy. I mean, I can make it work. Is it the age? Is it the age that I'm not flexible anymore? I don't know. Just know myself, right, guys? And I'm reading these house sit places, right? Because that would have been the easiest suggestion, right? Is to get a house sit for 3 months. There was an option to go a house sit on the Sunshine Coast, but that's the Sunshine Coast. We live here. It's like an hour and a half from where we live. I work mainly in this area. It would be just like having another kid. Exactly. Dad, can I have some money, please? No joke. Dad, can I have some money? So anyway, um, I thought house sitting would be great fun, guys. I thought, how cool it would be to bring some content to you guys going from house to house to house. Um, but the reality is, to line all that up is not easy. There are people here that are professionally doing this house sitting because they actually don't have anywhere to live, or they don't have any friends, or they're from another country and they're trying to make it work in Australia. You need your own space. It's okay for a week, but 2 or 3 months, you need your own space completely on your own. Like, yeah, exactly. So yeah, like Gaza, look, I mean, putting it out there, Gaza, like, would you have room for me for a week? Just putting it out there. I mean, I know you don't know me, but hypothetically, how soon do you need to move? The 8th of January. So, like, Gaza, Damien in the chat, what's the likelihood that you would let Dora and Diego come and stay at your house for 1 week? Just 1 week. 1 week, putting it out there in the next 3 months. Because that's my next thing, is I'm going to start time sharing myself out there. So my friend Mel said, look, I'm happy to have you for the 3 months, but I also know there's some personal stuff going on in the background in their life. I don't really want to get involved in that. I'm already involved as a friend. So I don't want to, I don't want to impress their space, I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say. So this is why house sitting is a good option. It's free, but it means that I need to go on these websites and basically, pimp myself out. It's $60 to join these websites. If I was a house sitter, I'm Gaza. Could we stay at your house for a while? Gaza, do you need a house sitter? So Gaza's just put here. He's going to Thailand. Completely forgot you're going to Thailand. So he's going for Thailand from January to first week of February. Gaza, do you live alone? I mean, this is weird. I mean, I'm on a live, and I actually don't know Gaza, but we talk about football all the time. Um, hey, you could be my first house sit. Is that an option? So what we're talking about is that the option is that's looking very, very probable right now is to borrow a pop-up camper. So one of those camper vans that pop up and go outside. It's a Jayco. And take it to our local caravan park. I rang the caravan park. It's going to cost $1,600 for 6 weeks. So it's about $266 a week. It's not great. It's not going to break the bank though. It is what it is. So like, Dora was talking about going to Phuket in January. So that's where the money goes for that. Instead of paying for a flight to Phuket to see some music that Dora loves, put that money instead into a caravan. And the only reason we can only book it for 6 weeks. Hey, Mike and Deb, how you going? It's not that exciting though, Deb. I'll be honest. You guys are living the dream right now. You're living the dream. They're in Mexico living in their camper, right? But we're renovating our house, Mike and Deb, or anyone new to the chat. And basically in less than a month, the 12th of January to be precise, someone's coming here to lift our house. And it takes about 3 months. So the water, sewage, all the services get turned off on about the 8th. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. No, I'm not on my own. Grown-up children will be there. I'm elsewhere. Sticks. Oh, where's Ellesmere? Where's that? Okay, let me Google that. Where is Ellesmere? So, guys, literally, Dora's just propositioned one of my friends in the chat. I don't really know him very well, Gaza. We talk about football all the time. Okay, it's brought up. Where's Ellesmere, Queensland? Woodland. Where is that? Oh my God, Gaza, where do you live? You're in the South Burnett region, 150 kilometres west of Brisbane. Okay. I love you, Mike. Sorry, I love you, Gaza, that you even thought that it's a possibility because I was just putting it out there. That's a bit far. Wow. You live in an interesting location. I'm going to look that up. So, guys, I can't show you because I'm on a laptop here and I've got you hooked up to something. It's just way too hard. Okay, Ellesmere is in the South Burnett region of Queensland. In the 2021 census, Ellesmere had a population of 334. Man, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. But you also live with your children, your grown-up children. That's not appropriate. Like, sorry, kids, you're just a random stranger. We're just going to put, I met her on YouTube. She's just going to stay with us for a couple of weeks. No, I was just being cheeky. But thank you, Gaza. I mean, I wasn't being serious. I mean, I was half serious, but you never know. You never know. Okay, so there's also Damien in the chat. Damien in the chat. I know he lives in the Fortitude Valley. I know that. Damien, do you want Dora and Diego to come stay for a little while? House sit? I know he's not going anywhere. He works. That's just not appropriate, right? So anyway, I just don't think. I do. Thanks for noticing. So what's Mike said? I mean, sorry, Deb and Mike got here. They have a premiere tomorrow morning. Oh, what's the premiere of? Let me go check that out on YouTube. Mike and Deb. Mike. So guys, if you're not following Mike and Deb, they're hikers from America and they have a premiere heading to Mexico. I already know they're in Mexico, hint, hint. Leaving the US, but for how long? Trekking with Deb and Mike. Follow our trek Friday from Arizona to San Miguel. San Miguel in Mexico is somewhere I've always wanted to go. Will our trailer still be there when we return? Oh, so you've left your trailer in Arizona. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. Interesting, guys. Let me be notified. Okay, so I've got notified. So, moral of my story, guys, is I'm just trying to work out in my brain what's appropriate, right? Like, I could go onto these websites now and, try to book in some people. It's a lot of work, guys. But at the end of the day, I have to find somewhere to live, right? Actually, let me put the link in the chat. Let me do it. Let me be a good YouTuber because you know I'm not very good at this. Share, copy. So just bear with me while I try to put this in the chat, if I can even do that. Oh, what do you know? I can. So, guys, I just put the link to Trekking with Deb and Mike. That is their channel / their premiere for tomorrow. Nice. So, well, there you go. Laura did that. So, I don't think it's a good use of my time if I go try to find all these house sits right now and try to, book them in. And then tonight we get the okay from my sister saying, yep, you can use the camper. Because I think that's the easiest option, guys. Don't you reckon? I'd love to know, like, there's 6 of you there, guys. What do you reckon? Is it better for Dora for 3 months to try to find house sit to house sit to house sit? If we miss that house sit, we can stay at my mum's, we can stay at my friends for a week. I mean, it would make really good content, guys. It would make good content, guys. It'd be interesting, but it would be stressful. It would be stressful. Okay. I'm just talking about how I've come so far with that, trying to make myself healthy. And, it's all about eating and exercising, having your own space, meditation, reading. If I'm, basically going from one house sit to another house sit, I'm probably going to always be stressed about where's my things, packing my stuff up, losing stuff, leaving stuff at house sits. Or do we just take the use of a camper and go to a caravan park and become trailer park people? And that could also be good content, guys. And it's not all about content, guys. I'm just making it up, right? I'm just having a bit of fun. It's about real life, right? I need my own space. I think yeah. I've got a big personality, if you haven't noticed. Diego is a man of few words, but he's got his own big personality. He likes his own space. We like our space away from each other. So living in a camper is going to be very interesting. But the fact is that if the camper is in Redcliffe, where I live, I can go down the road to my friend Mel's, right? I can take my washing to my friend's Mel's house and we can, she'll give me the key to the house. I can go and, go to, she's got a bar downstairs. I can go sit in her bar and, I could go to the house and watch TV. I could, if I want to upload something on YouTube, I could go to her house and link into her YouTube. The caravan doesn't have, Wi-Fi or anything like that. That's not what I meant. If I lock into her Wi-Fi, I think it's going to be the better option, guys. So Debbie Sue's got the camper. Gaz has got the camper. Yeah, I think it's right. So look, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to wait till tomorrow. My sister's, okay, Paul's even got the camper as the best. Yeah, I think that's a better option. Hey guys, and even like in between that, we could find house sits. But as long as we have somewhere, like even if we're going to have to pay $266 for to put the camper there, I could still find house sits. You are around family and friends. Exactly right. Camp all the way. So my okay, guys. That's all I needed you for, guys. Thank you. See you later. Thanks, guys. I needed that. I just like okay. Let me go to my brain dump. Okay. So my next first world problem, guys, is I need to sort out my trip to Bali actually with Paul. So these are first world problems, guys, that I know I found really, really disgusting. But yeah, Bali. We're going to Bali on the 13th. So basically at the end of the house sit or the caravan sit or wherever we're going to end up, I'm planning to go to Bali. So on the 13th, Paul flies into Bali. I don't know if I'm flying on the 13th. I might fly on the 14th, who knows, of March. But yeah, I'm going to meet up with Paul. And then I'm going to meet Jazz and Nicola. And we're going to go to Indonesia, to Sumatra, to stay with my mum, who will also be in Indonesia. To have a bit of it, to go back to Indonesia. So that was another thing on my list. I need to have my vitamins. I ate about an hour ago. Actually, way more than an hour ago because I've been gabbling for 75 minutes. So, guys, this is what I do with my vitamins. Again, not selling anything, guys. This is just how I do things. I roll and I don't do anything normal. Oh, yes. Okay, 2. I've got 4 more left, right? We haven't dropped anything yet. Okay, we just dropped something. Oh, have a go. Okay, that went through the crack of the deck. Whoops. Oh, oh, it's in my bra. Okay. I know which one I dropped. I dropped that one on the ground downstairs. So put that on the mouth. Not everyone takes vitamins, and I get that. It's okay. It could be like a really expensive pee, or it could be a placebo effect. But you know what? It works for me, right? Okay. I know which one that was also. Mm. Okay. Concentrate. Concentrate. Ready? I am professional at this, okay? Oh, oh. Okay. So that was another thing on my list. So I put my vitamins in like meditation, like medication little thingy-jiggies. So I have morning, lunch, and dinner. So while we chat, I'm going to just do this because these are things on my mind, right? My health is important to me. So when your health is important to you, you got to do what you got to do, right? And what I do is take vitamins. It's one of the things I do. And by putting them into these tabs, it helps me try to be regular. You can tell how regular I am, guys. I've missed quite a few days. If you have a look in here, there's quite a few days that are still in here. So some mornings I'm really good, some lunches I'm really good, some nights I'm really good. So that's why I put them in these little things. I've got a better chance of remembering to take them. So, yeah, as I said, my health is really important to me, guys. And I think that a lot of you guys in the chat, you know, we're all over 50 now, that our health should be a priority about, right? And that's why I guess I'm being realistic that I'd love to have the adventure of going from house sit to house sit to house sit. But right now, I just can't do it. My brain is just not functioning like that. Like, as I said, I think coming out of 75 hard, um, oh shit, whoops. Coming out of 75 hard, where, you know, there was a lot of demands on me, I think I'm still dealing with that. I'm going to be honest. So I'm just giving myself a bit of peace that it's been a lot in the last couple of months. And yeah, YouTube's fun, but it's not my everything. And, you know, like me sitting here just talking, you guys are listening. You know, I don't actually have to have amazing content from amazing locations. Like, you know, I don't have to be, you know, traveling every week. And I'm just saying that, you know, when you build community, I guess, you know, it's not about, you know, traveling to different locations every week and having, you know, amazing content all the time, because who can keep up? Not me. So I'd love to know who does take vitamins, actually, talking about vitamins, because while I'm doing this, I'm multitasking, right? Who does take vitamins? I'd love to know what what you think about vitamins. Does anyone take vitamins in the chat? Hey, Rhonda, how you going? So, Rhonda, we have a very interesting topic today. We've been talking about how Dora and Diego are about to renovate about to move out of this house, because we're lifting the house and moving it completely. So, as in on the same block of land, we're having to move it. So we have to move out of the house basically. And I have to figure out where to live. And with that has come, you know, the idea of house sitting. And we've just talked through the pros and cons of that, and the pros and cons with staying at friends' houses for 3 months. Not really appropriate. I put it out there to one of the people in the chat, if I could stay at their house for 1 week, because, you know, it's probably more realistic to stay at someone's house for 1 week than 3 weeks. So I pimp myself out for, like, you know, all different times. And, you know, he said, look, you know, I'm actually going away to Thailand, so potentially you could stay 1 week, but it's not realistic. He lives like in the middle of a long way away from where I live, basically. So, you know, I still have to work. So anyway, we've come up with the idea that we are going to be living at a trailer park, potentially. If we can borrow a camper off my neighbour, off my sister, and we've rang up a caravan park, trailer park you call them in America, and it's in Redcliffe where I live, so it's the same location. It's doable. It's going to cost $266 a week. Flat power and water, access to toilets. There's a barbecue and there's a fridge. And if we wanted to, we could wash our clothes there. You pay money, but like as I said, I've got friends down the road. I could just go to their house and wash my clothes there. You know, I'm sure they give me access. They give me the keys to the house. I could go there and just, you know, get away from Diego. Because I mean, look, when you live in a house, you're used to having your own space. Like, you know, Deb and Mike were saying, it's nice to have your own space. Hey, Charlie, how you going? That would be good content. Yeah, well, Mike, you know, I actually thought it'd be better content doing the house sitting, because I really like house sitting. I think house sitting's so fun. I'd love to know in the chat who's done house sitting before. Paul, have you done house sitting before? Debbie Sue, Rhonda, ever done house sitting before, or ever had someone stay in your house before for house sitting to look after your house and dogs? Just curious. Guess what, guys? I can write off. I wrote down here vitamins. Vitamins done. So I'm ticking off my to-do list, guys. This is my brain dump. Actually, I wonder if Rhonda, do you do brain dumps? Like, as in, like, when you're got a lot going on, just write all the things down that you need to do. It's like a to-do list, right? But I'll call it a brain dump. Don't take much testosterone. Your manhood can't handle it. No, I have not either. I have rented my house out when I moved. You do brain dumps, yeah. Okay, cool. Because literally, that was my brain dump. What all these things, I'm ticking them off. But one of the biggest things right now on my brain dump is to literally figure out what I'm going to do next year. So thank you very much, guys. You have really helped me process a few things here, guys, because I want to wait for that call back from my sister about if we can borrow the pop up camper. If we can, I'm going to just book that in tomorrow, guys. Just book it, pay it, be done. Like I said, I was planning to go to Phuket in January. I wanted to see, there's a 3-day dance festival, and I just don't think it's realistic that I can go. Where two of the DJs that I want to see in Phuket will actually be coming to Sydney in February. So that's probably why I'm going to do that instead. But, it's not kind of really kosher of me to be going on holidays when we're about to lift the house and have to find somewhere to live, right? So Debbie Sue's got here, no, I haven't. I should have done that in my younger years. Laugh. Jordan Scott does house sitting, and yeah, she does. She does actually house sit. Yeah, you're right. But Mike's having a giggle because Mike has his first viral video. I don't know if I think most of you guys have seen it. Hey, welcome back, Lavender. His video on using his camper to live on site has got like over 18,000 views, and he's got 2,000 watch hours from one video. Guys, can you think that out? 2,000 watch hours from one video. Mate, I'm lucky to get 10 hours watch hours for one video. So to get 2,000 watch hours on one video is like, wow, like heads up, clap, clap. Like I know it's viral and it's a one-off thing, but you do more videos on that. I reckon 21K. Crap. That is amazing. So how many watch hours is it now? Tell us, Mike. Mike can be monetized on one video at this minute. Yeah, Mike leaving us all to dust. Yeah, Mike will be like, oh, you plebs, I'm one of these YouTube gurus. Can you imagine? One day Mike will be like, oh, once upon a time I was with this community of people and they used to do all these lives and just have a little chat. And look at me, I'm in my amazing camper with this pop-up roof and like pop-out verandas, and I've got a pool at the back of my pop-up camper. Oh my God. I love it. I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. I mean, it had to happen to one of us in the community, right? I think it's amazing. Like, it's got Sally and Gina and Miss Paula, all over 1,000 subscribers now, right? I think Gina's the first one Gina Hartley Happy is the first one that's got monetized. And Mike's going to be the next, man. The bad thing is, something I hate, I do not like being in the cold, but for some reason people seem to like it. Yeah, because they like you're getting tortured. People love people being tortured. So Debbie Sue's like laughing because I'm saying that Mike's one day going to be the superstar that is going to have this amazing setup, and he's going to be like, oh, once upon a time, that Deb and Debbie Sue and Paul and Dora from Australia. Oh, look at me in my amazing camper that YouTube paid for. I'm joking. I mean, hey, it's possible. It's possible. I would love to see Mike amazingly grow and grow and grow. But don't forget where you came from, okay? So Mike's got here. I had no idea it would take off. No one does, right? No one does. I thought I would get my usual 100 likes. Mate, you're lucky you're getting 100 likes. I'm lucky to get 30 likes. That tells you, Mike, that you're on the right track, right? Just keep on going with that. I mean, I know it's cold though. Maybe just invest in one of those diesel heaters. How much do they cost, Mike? How much does a diesel heater cost, Mike? That's one thing I don't have to worry about. It won't be cold for us; it'll be too hot. And at least we have access to power, so we'll have to have a couple of fans going on us in this camper. Deb's got here. You'll remember us when you get this huge, big YouTuber, Mike. Of course he will. Mike will forget. He won't. There's no way he'll forget us. No way. He's not the type of person. $100. I have one coming in the mail. Ah, shit. That's all right. Okay, well then just do that. But just pretend you don't have the diesel heater, Mike. It'd just be really cold. I'm so cold. I don't know if I'm going to make it tonight. And you'll probably get a million views. um, Wow, that's great. That's great. But you're right. You're right. I actually think it'd probably be quite good content, eh? But guys, ugh, I don't know why. Just something fell off the back of that pen that I was trying to chew on. Ugh, don't chew on a pen. So, just thinking about it, it'd actually make really good content, wouldn't it? Mike, I'm going to go ride your coattails. But you got to put something tragic in it, right? Like, so I'm in heat, so I'm going to talk about how hot it is for you guys in America to watch it, because you'll be like, oh, look at this poor Australian girl. She's like, she's so hot, she's sleeping and she's like sweating. I could show a bit of skin, be real sexy and like hot and sweaty. Have ice, I'll get ice and roll it over my body and go, oh my God, I'm so hot, it's all sizzling on me. That sounds disgusting. But yeah. Oh, look, guys, it's not all about YouTube, right? It's all a bit of fun, but at the same time, it is what it is, right? Everything's content, right? I'm sitting here talking to you about my dribbles, and it's content, right? You guys are watching, it's listening. Someone in the background might think this is, something of value. So Rhonda's got here. That's what you can do. You can video your experience of being in a hot camper. Yeah. We can all say I knew him when he was one of us little people. Yeah, Mike, when you were one of us little people. My next video I'm going to do for you, Dora, but I'm trying to get everything ready and right now. It's like negative 12 Fahrenheit. So what you're trying to tell me, Mike, is that you're going to dance. You are going to dance. Mike is going to dance. I've been at Mike for ages about dancing. But next topic oh no, it's about your favorite subject. Okay, so obviously my favorite subject is toilets, right? And Mike, guarantee you will get so many views, because people love toilet options. Like, people like to know about toilets. Like, they're intrigued. Like, where do you go to the toilet? How do you poo? How do you wee? I'm intrigued. Cool, Mike. That's awesome. Awesome. So, next thing on my list, guys, is I actually need to downstairs under the house. Um, everything under the house has to get gutted. We're hiring this is another expense. We have to hire a shed to put all our boxes in. Rhonda's got here. Are you going to show us how you go to the toilet in your camper? I would. Dora the Dunny Dancer. Oh, Mike, you're going to dance on the toilet in your camper. That'd be funny. So I don't know, 100%. Yeah, awesome. Okay. Sign us up for that one. We want to see that one. Um, Interesting where I've come from, guys. Back last year when I went to Taiwan and I videotaped, I was actually sitting on a toilet on a bidet. Has anyone ever seen that video? I can't remember. I'm going to put it in the chat. Has anyone seen that video? Everyone's like, I don't want to see that. It's actually quite funny, guys. Let me find it. It's actually funny. Paul, do you remember the video I'm talking about? And it's not a live, guys. It's actually a video. I actually videotaped. Believe it or not, I can videotape stuff, apparently. I mean, I can videotape stuff. It's editing is the other issue. Okay, got it, guys. Got it. Got it. Got it. Ah, fuck. All right, I've got a shareable link. Country girl, how you going? All right. Dora is funny. Hi, country girl. Oh, country girl is Lavender. Hey, Lavender, how you going? You've changed your name. The only reason I know that is because I can see your picture. What is the subject, Dora? Always. No, I've just put in the link. Dora always gets on talking about going to the toilet? Gets on or gets off? Gets off, definitely. I'll just put it in the chat, guys. So go check that out if you like. You don't need to watch this live. I'm just gabbling on. And in plus, guys, I really should finish up because I actually need to do some things, actually, guys. So on that note, actually, guys, is there anyone on a live at the moment? Let's have a look. Let's do a Dora raid, guys. Let's do a Dora raid. Is anyone on a live? I don't know how to check that on my computer. Can anyone help me out? Does anyone know who's on live at the moment? On my computer, I can't never check. You're on a live, Lavender. No, but Lavender, you're 16. I don't like to promote people going to people's pages that are only young. I just don't think it's appropriate. Lives. Does anyone know if anyone's live at the moment? Okay, we have a whole lot of people I don't know. Okay, don't worry about that. There's no one else on a live. Yes, at least I checked out that guy that does that. I forgot his name. You're the only in the group. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, check out that live guy. I mean, not live, that video, guys. It's actually quite funny. You'll actually see me sitting on a toilet, literally going to the toilet. You don't see anything. It's not graphic, guys, but it's kind of funny. But anyway, appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. Hey, Jamie, how you going? Debbie Sue, are you still there? And I'll tell you my story about Phuket. Otherwise, guys, my ramble is over. Thank you very much for helping me with my first world problem. I will report back tomorrow with what the next step is, and we'll go from there. But Debbie Sue, are you there still? Debbie Sue, are you still there? Okay, so why I'm not going to go to Phuket? Well, that's one of the reasons. It's going to overlap with when I have to move out of the house. But the big reason why I wanted to go to Phuket was because Gareth Emery, one of the big DJs that is playing. And he hasn't been to Australia for a few years. It's been fun as always. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you. Appreciate everyone. See you, Deb. So the main reason why I wanted to go to Thailand to see this festival was to see a guy called Gareth Emery. He used to come every year to Australia, to Sydney. He never comes to Brisbane. No one comes to Brisbane. But he hasn't been to Australia for ages. So that was the reason why I wanted to go. There's a couple of other DJs I'd like to see, but I'm not, partial. I didn't really care. So that was the reason why I wanted to go. And suddenly, all of a sudden, there's a lot of DJs coming to Australia, and like lots of them, crazily. It's like Christmas time. There seems to be a lot of DJs. I just went to the Ministry of Sound on Sunday night. That was really good. I went to Hypersonic in Sydney. That was really, really good. I saw another one of my favourite DJs there. I'm about to see another DJ in, I think, 2 weeks' time. Mike Dynamic. I saw him. Actually, guys, I went to a dance festival. I told Mike about it. I went to a dance festival on Sunday night, just gone, and it's called Ministry of Sound Testament. So it's like old DJs like Judge Jules, Paul Dynamic, a whole lot of DJs that are kind of old school, Tall Paul. So back in like 30 years ago, they were popular. Anyway, I did a couple of lives. And when you do lives, guys, when you're playing music, you do get copyrights, right? But what I've found is they actually let you stay, like, unless it's like a popular song, like right now, like Taylor Swift, you'll get cut down straight away. The live stream will get and be gone, right? But my live streams were able, because dance music is like, Dashing Womble is currently like, who's Dashing Womble? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. And then we can all go there. Do you know them, Rhonda? So anyway, let me go back to the story. So anyway, long story short, I filmed one of the DJs, Mark Dynamic, and he actually commented on my live and said, "Nice video." How cool is that? I am now a DJ groupie. I've met a few DJs. Oh, he's okay, perfect. Yeah, put him in the chat, guys. Put him in the chat, and we'll all go there. So, but anyway, moral of the story is, in February, middle of February, there's a thing. another rave in Sydney, just where I went. Same place near my sister's house. And Gareth Emery's there. One of the other DJs that's playing in Phuket's going to be there. Paul Van Dyke, another one of my favourite DJs, is playing. So there's no use in going to to Phuket when I really can't afford it right now. Okay, let me find his link so that everyone can find it. So it's Dashing Womble. Let me find the link so that way we can all just click on the link. Dashing. If you could find his link, that'd be great, and just like find the live. I can't seem to find him. Dashing. Anyone able to find? Can anyone find his link? Because when I put it in the system, Dashing Womble is not. Oh, wait on. Let me spell it right. Okay, got it, guys. Got it. Let me just get it. The link. Copy. I'll put it in the set. There you go, guys. Click on that. Dora Raid. Let's go meet this guy. Let's stay around for at least 10, 15 minutes, meet him. You don't have to subscribe, but have a chat to people, make some friends. Let's go. I'll leave this live on for a second, but I'll go to that one. I'll go Dora Raid. Thanks for being here, guys. I'll see you over there. Let's make your dream a reality right now. I've got an ad first. Okay, we're here. See you guys. See you, Deb. If you click on that link, Deb. See ya.